अच्छी है बंदी अच्छी है बंदे अच्छे हैं
Well, there you are. It's been a while since I saw you, but hey, I'm glad we're back here and back with something very, very amazing, or rather, something very, very happy. And after all, that is exactly what you and I and the world needs, a bit of happiness. So, who's joining us today? Well, we have a very humble and a jovial, or rather a very happy person as our guest for today's episode of iPro Life Influences Bande Achhe Hai Season 2. And this gentleman has always been a true blue Indian, just like every other Parsi we know. Social service and community outreach are in his DNA, and he believes in helping people with the right financial knowledge to make them stand independent in life, which indeed is very, very important. While he enjoys the dish of dhansak and playing cricket, his passion is being a financial advisor, and he is the best at it. Well, the seasoned player with 3 decades of industry experience has spent about 6 years with iPro. His conviction of the products and concepts has brought him consistent success in his business, and he leads the way every single time. His achievements with iPro: 5 times a Star Club winner, once a TOT winner, 4 times a COT winner, once a MDRT winner, and 6 times a lifetime MDRT ARC winner. Well, his wife Zenobia and his sons Anosh and Ziraz, along with his parents, have always been his pillar of strength through his financial career. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're very happy to welcome here with us at Life Influences Bande Chair Season 2. Our guest is Mr. Dick Hosy Mody right now.
Thank you very much, Mithun, for the flowery and a very, very humbling introduction. I appreciate the opportunity given by iPro and the team to be on the show today. Thank you so much, guys.
Describe a happy memory from your childhood that you still look back and say, oh my God, was I really like this or like that?
Yeah, I mean, growing up in a suburb of Mumbai, which at that time was considered the Netherlands, and our relatives, some of the wealthy relatives in town thought was the outpost, Andheri. Lots of jokes about, oh, Andheri, so it's going to be dark, Andhera hoga. I remember those days, and I still remember those days when we used to live in a corporate community. My parents used to work for Tatas, and they had, at that time, it was very, at a particular level, you would get a particular apartment as part of your job perk. Having grown up in a community of secular, all religions put together, it was a huge complex. It was India first. That's what it taught us.
So, who's in your family? Tell me about your family, your kids, and how has your better half helped you in the journey of your professional career?
So, as you know, I was fortunate to have ranked as a chartered accountant in both inter and final, in both the levels. Although I was not that smart, I think they gave me somebody else's marks, but whatever. I was a all India rank holder. And immediately I jumped in the 1992, thanks to Arshad Mehta and his headline news on stock markets. That was our batch, when we graduated. So I went into investment banking. At that time, investment banking was not at all sought after profession as it is today, or maybe 10 years ago. It was a mess. India was itself, the economy was in shambles. And subsequently, as you know, we had the great reforms, etc. But just because I was, we were in the middle of the boom, I actually denied certain offers which were given as a rank holder from some of the best corporate houses and foreign banks. And I ended up with an institution which was just starting up as a, as an India's first investment house, which is ICICI and JP Morgan joint venture called ISEC. I thought it was a great place, and besides the salary, I'm sure I would make a lot of money in the stock market. But in
True.
1 year, the stocks, everything fell flat, and we had a bear market for a long time.
Right.
I think this was the first big lesson I learned in life from my career, that everything that goes up doesn't necessarily keep going up, and there is the law of gravity, especially in case of stocks.
I have this very interesting question because you spoke about your dad earlier in the conversation, and how your dad has been in the industry of general insurance sector for the longest time. Would you like to share how it has helped you grow in your career, considering he's got a similar pattern of the job that you're in?
So my dad started working for Tata's in the insurance department, and after about 15 years, he quit. He became an entrepreneur. He was so popular with his clients that he started his own practice. So much so that he also had very large corporate accounts, because lots of mega corporates MDs trusted him. The insurance sector in India has evolved, and as you know, more than life in the general insurance sector, claim settlement was a big issue, and now of course it's much better. But you roll back 20, 30, 40 years ago, it was paper driven. It was also bureaucratic, and also there were lots and lots of people who were making money on the side by fleecing their clients in cahoots with the so-called bad practices which were prevailing in terms of claim settlement. So these things, again, there was no IRDA, there was no regulator, so it was a free for all. It is in this period that he had carved out a reputation of honesty, integrity, and if he would step into, if there was an issue in the claims process because of any bureaucracy, he had to just visit that place, put his stamp of approval saying that, look, this is a genuine case, I know the person, this is not a fraud, the motor accident receipts, etc. Trust me, we are not charging or overcharging, and the claims will get settled. It would take a long time, it would take a lot of effort, it would be very, very tedious, he would be working very hard even on weekends, but he would make it happen. So I think, having seen him work in that era where it was a struggle to even application forms were like 10, 12. Today also, if you see an application form of a public sector insurance company, you'll faint. In that scenario, if these kind of guys, not just my dad, but all the advisors who have worked in that era and survived and created a name for themselves, I think they deserve 10 times more praise than what we and I do. Because today, we just go on the app, we log it in. I mean, life is cool. Sitting on a beach, we can do it.
So I'm going to move to the next segment. It's called the pursuit of happiness. And this is one question, I always like asking every advisor who comes to my show, that what has been the greatest achievement while working in a life insurance sector? Is it saving life? Is it nurturing the clients? Or is it achieving in terms of winning a trophy, or winning a day, or winning a client rather? What is your take on it? What is your greatest achievement, and how do you see this?
Yeah, I think in terms of achievement, I guess the best achievement. I mean, and it's kind of not any particular instance is not a best achievement. When you, I feel gratified as so we are a full-fledged financial planning house. We do many things besides life insurance. So when you take a look at the top-down scenario of a business house or a family or a middle-class income household, and I feel and I see. I mean, especially when I work with people who are salaried earners, who are in the upper middle income or the lower income bracket, uh, I get that extra pleasure. When I talk to an HNI and I give him a solution, honestly, I don't get that kick. But when I talk to a person who deserves the kind of attention that I give them, I get a lot of pleasure. These are the guys, they actually take me back to my childhood days.
Okay, I have this question, and I've also heard this from people before, because there's a little bit of research we do before we get the advisor on board, that you love sharing your knowledge, would be financial or life sharing knowledge. So, could you share a few insights with us when it comes to financial knowledge?
We are Indians. We are born here. We are lucky. I think we are, all of us are blessed. Why? Two things. One, obviously, because of the cultural and other factors. But in terms of the economic factors, as we probably are now reading more and more, India is the next superpower. We are out of the 196 countries. We are already in the top 5 or 6 on a GDP basis. We've thankfully overtaken our colonial rulers, England, just recently, Britain, which is a good achievement for us. And we are very close to knocking out the top 4. So we are going to break into the top 5 very soon, and in the top 3 in the next 10 years. So I mean, this is not small. If you were to benefit from it, people say, what do I do? How do I benefit from it? I think it's very simple. Definitely stay invested and plan, if it's not too late, to have a very decent, healthy chunk of shares, mutual funds, ULIPs, whatever you call it, our small cases that we have. There are lots of options available, but make sure that when you have your total wealth with you, a reasonably strong percentage is allotted to or allocated to equities. Growth, we call that growth portfolio,
Right.
whereas bonds and debt are the steady income portfolios. Now it is all dependent on that particular family or individual. That's where financial planning kicks in.
Yeah.
Every person has a risk tolerance metric here. That's basically the amount of shares or risky assets which allows you to sleep. So a young guy could say, "नहीं boss, मुझे 30% से ज़्यादा नहीं करना है मुझे." So he has to decide. I think we believe in that. There is no standard formula. There is no one glove fit all. Once you do that, you have to then not chase short term, because equity investing is all about spending time in the market and not trying to time the market. I have so many friends who have been veterans like me, have enough experience, but still they try to chase the momentum. They lose money and then so the equity investing is not about jumping in and out of a train. If you know that the Indian GDP is going from 3 trillion to 5 trillion in the next 5 years, 6 years, you have to board the train, plan it, have that much money in equities that you can sleep with, and then stay on the train. One bad year, you don't jump off. The train is going from Bombay to Delhi. You can't jump off at Surat if you are convinced that the train is eventually going to go to Delhi. Otherwise, don't board the train. You stay invested in debt instruments or gold. Simple.
Rightly mentioned. I think this is some subject we can go on endless about it because that's about finances and advisors. But let's go to the journey of iPro and you. If you have to recall the happiest moment, what would that be?
Most cherished moment was year one, when my colleague in IPRO, who's tagged to me, who gives me all the support, he mentioned that there is a contest, and sir, if you do this, you become an NDRT and you get some 30-40 lakhs of business. If you become an NDRT. And I said, yeah, first time to nahi hoga. I mean, I've just started. Come on, give me a break. And I'm an investment advisor. That year, I hit a Star Club seat. So I
Wow.
don't really hit MDRT, but I also hit a single Star Club seat, which blew me off. And he said that, I told you, sir, itna hard nahi hai. आप डर रहे हो. I think that was that gave me a lot of confidence.
That puts me to a very interesting question. What is Mr. Dick doing when he's not working?
That's a difficult question because I'm always busy.
Is he playing
I'm,
cricket? Is he
I'm,
thinking
a,
of playing cricket?
I'm a workaholic, so it's one of the challenges that we face today. And I think that's the challenge I faced as a banker also. We get over involved. But yeah, no, we have to balance work and life. So when I'm not much of a reader. I won't claim to have read thousands of books and all. But yes, I am an outdoors person, so I like travel. I like short breaks. I like history and culture. So one of on my bucket list is to visit some of the most rare and uh, I would say the spiritual sites all over the world. So we've done a bit of it. We just came back from Konark, the Sun Temple. We just came
Wow.
back
Yes,
yesterday.
yes, yes.
We've been to Borobudur in July. We've been to Cambodia, Angkor Wat. We like to travel, so we've seen. History fascinates me. Been to Persia, Iran. Been to Kazakhstan. So travel is definitely one passion. Sports is a passion, and that's cricket, indoor sports. Table tennis, badminton, something which I like.
Thinking of the thought. Thoughts come with moments, moments come with truth, and customers, because our journey is all about customers and enhancing their life. Moment of truth with customers. My first question here is, can you recall of your customers who have become close buddies? I know you mentioned about your colleagues becoming good friends, but here have customers become your good friends?
Yes, in fact, we are very, very blessed and fortunate that some of our people whom we didn't know at all, or just knew them by face, today are family friends. Uh, yeah, there are quite a few of them actually. They cherish the work that we do for them. By the way, we don't charge. So, even on the investment planning, etc., we don't charge. Our services are totally free. Insurance, of course, is free because we get paid by IPO. But even when we devise a portfolio, we don't charge. That's a very interesting model that we've built up.
Well, let's move to the next segment, my favorite segment, because here we get to know the other side of Mr. Dick by the means of him and his family members joining us here on the show. So let's see who's joining us today from your side, Mr. Dick. We have Mr. Dick and his family right now. So I have like a bunch of questions, but I'll start with the first one. And this goes to Zenobia. This question is to you right now. What do you like the most about Mr. Dick as a friend, as a husband, and as a advisor in all three aspects?
Okay. So, as a friend, he's wonderful. He's very understanding, helpful. Uh, Sorry, your other question was as a
Friend,
husband.
husband, and advisor.
Husband, he's very, very loving. He's a wonderful human being more than anything else.
That's true.
Like he said, he loves to help people. It's something that we have in common. So that's one quality I definitely appreciate. And your third question was
Advisor.
advisor, perseverance. That's one quality um, which is really, really, really very important because that really helps when you're reaching out to a client or you're reaching out to people. Definitely, that thing of not giving up is something which is extremely, extremely important. So.
That's wonderful. All right. So let's get straight on to the rapid fire. Choose one answer, this or that. Okay, Zenobia, question to you. Traditional food or multi cuisines?
Traditional food.
Mr. Dick, traveling abroad or within India?
Indifferent.
Okay. Cricket or pickleball?
Pickleball, maybe.
Favorite movie genre, comedy or thriller?
Comedy.
Okay, Mr. Dick, who is your favorite actress in Bollywood?
I think Deepika Padukone, she stands out.
One song that makes you dance.
Khali bali ho gaya hai dil.
Kya baat hai, wow, wonderful. Watching movies on OTT platform or going to theater? Anush, what do you like?
Theaters.
Theaters is movie experience after all.
Yeah.
Ziraz, what do you like? Watching cricket at home or watching cricket at home with friends?
Watching cricket at home with friends.
All right. Next question. Spending time with family or socializing with colleagues? What do you like, Mr. Dick?
Family, for sure.
Who has a sweet tooth in the house?
Ask them.
Zenobia, who's got the sweet tooth? The son or the,
It's the Mody.
son or the father?
No, it's big body.
All the way.
It was wonderful talking to each one of you, and that's what makes the entire life more interesting. And this entire season of Life Influence Bande Achhe Hai is special because of family members. So thank you so much for joining us right here. This was yet another episode of Love, Expression, Advisors, Family, overall for something that you can seek to become a better person. My name is Mithun Upadhyay. Until next time, be good, be happy, and help others. As Mr. Dick rightly mentioned, you help, you get help, and that's how the life goes on. Thank you again for joining us here. Have a good one. Until next time, ciao, ciao.
We are proud of our son, Dick, and we keep our fingers crossed. And we hope he becomes a very important person, not only in India, but abroad also. By the grace of God, he is doing very well.
He is so diligent and painstaking in any work entrusted to him. He is very helpful to everyone. We are very proud of him.